Trump news. Harris can end Trump Vance culture wars. Here's how. After defeating Donald Trump in the debate, Vice President Kamala Harris must reinforce her campaign's most powerful message, that it's time to end the cultural and ideological warfare, much of it phony, some of it rooted in prejudice, that prevents our nation from solving its biggest problems. She can demonstrate what it means to champion the American family. Harris showed her presidential demeanor and baited Trump into self-involved, dyspeptic incoherence and fact-free, frequently bigoted fearmongering in last week's debate. But Trump's outburst shouldn't overshadow Harris's message. In closing, she stated, "I do believe that the American people recognize we all have so much more in common than what separates us, and we can chart a new way forward." Harris has become the candidate for change by responding to a reality most Americans feel in their bones, despite being vice president. After nearly 4 years out of government, Trump's furious and negative mentality still rules public life. As long as Trump is around, every incident will become a culture war, elections will be based on who hates whom, and real issues will fester. Harris says, enough. She rightly predicts that most Americans want the culture wars to end. Till Election Day, she must show what peace requires. J.D. Vance unwittingly gave her this chance. Harris has the perfect counterpoint in Trump's running partner to demonstrate that being pro-family and pro-children demands uniting our political tribes. Vance has struggled to justify his misogynistic language. Not merely his statements about childless cat ladies or that teachers without children are an issue for education. That surprised the Sisters of St. Joseph and Benedictine monk pupil. His criticism of women who think that, essentially, the liberationist way is to spend 90 hours a week working in a cubicle at McKinsey instead of creating a family and having children was particularly telling. He subsequently added, "They're all inherently atheist or agnostic. They lack values. Without God, people find purpose in racial or gender equity." Well, no need to list all the flaws, because Vance focused on McKinsey women, not men. I also think there are more believers in those cubicles than he thinks, and many regard gender and racial fairness as God's will. A more backward, needlessly divisive, and bizarrely sectarian way to handle the fact that our culture organizes labor to make it harder for women and men to be parents is hard to imagine. Fighting over gender, ideology, sexuality, or religion won't help. Uniting behind practical actions to improve work-family balance, the economy, and community needs would make a difference. Some tens of millions of Americans work 2 or 3 jobs to make ends meet without McKinsey-level wages. Radical income inequality affects families. Many Americans cannot afford work-related child care. Helping elderly parents is another challenge for many. We lag behind other wealthy nations in family leave regulations. Harris can remove family issues from culture wars. The abortion debate will continue, but opponents should support increased support for mothers. I think most people would like less meanness in transgender child policy issues. Americans across party lines say we must aid parents and kids more. Harris correctly but briefly referenced the child tax credit and helping young people buy a home throughout the discussion. She should have discussed leave, child care, elder care, and care economy pay. Doing so in the coming weeks will answer detractors who argue she lacks policy. She's not, particularly compared to Trump, but additional information on these and other family-strengthening proposals will help her win voters. Americans are frustrated with the same old, boring playbook, Harris said in the debate. Bingo. They hate politics that divides us and exploits our discontents. Time to heal.